making an insect-themed tarot deck. There we go. Now if you're like, Nancy, but you're a science person, what? Hello, my beautiful, intellectually curious, and very creative love bugs. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Nancy. I am an entomologist, which means that I study bugs. And we are trying to do almost daily December. It's not quite daily December. It's just me. I don't have an editor, okay? So we're working on it. But I'm trying to get to 5,000 subscribers by the end of the month. So you, yes, you can help by subscribing and liking this video and commenting and sharing it with your friends or your not friends or whatever. Today's video is going to be a little bit different. Today's video is inspired by Jazza. So if you don't follow his channel, I mean, I don't know how, he has like 100 million subscribers or something crazy, that he does an art channel and it's really, really fun. He does really fun challenges. He just has so much energy and creative enthusiasm for just trying new projects and just doing art, and I love watching people make stuff. So today I thought that I would talk about a project because of this creative 2021 challenge that Jazza is doing. He asked a whole bunch of questions in his video. I'm going to be answering them sprinkled in while talking about the project because I think it'll just fit better that way. So Jazza's first question.
Send a selfie of yourself or a picture with your workspace and let...
I don't have a dedicated workspace. I find a space and I make it work for me. For example, this YouTube studio is lit very kindly by the window. I'm filming on my phone and it is on an ironing board. Very professional. When I go down to the coast to visit my partner, it's his place, so I got to paint an entire room pink with bedazzled and bejeweled insects all over it. So I work there on an old table I found in the corner. Works for me. And I can talk about bugs in the jungle dressed up like a fairy. I can do work on my computer in the mountains. Basically, if there's stuff that I need to get done and I'm not in my house, it doesn't matter, I make it work.
Let me know how you're going to make your 2021 creative. What are your plans? What are your dreams and hopes? What do you want to improve? What do you want to make?
I am making an insect-themed tarot deck. There we go. Now if you're like, Nancy, but you're a science person, what? I feel you. I get it. First of all, I don't think cardboard cards are messages from the universe. I don't think you can tell the future. I don't think they're fortune telling. I don't use them that way personally. And I just like having tangible art that allows me to randomize my thinking and randomize my journal prompt entries. That's basically how I use tarot. So if you want to know how I even got into tarot in the first place, I have this whole thing on my Instagram where my friend Veronica, and her Instagram is on screen as well, did a interview with me, and basically I met her and she was terrified of bugs, and she met me and I was like, tarot, like what? And she gave my bugs a chance and now lets spiders outside and goes to entomology conferences with me, and I gave her tarot a chance because that seemed only fair. And yeah, now she likes bugs and I kind of like tarot, and if you're interested in how I use tarot personally, leave a comment so I can maybe make a video about it. I don't know, whatever.
What do you want to create that will change the world? Who do you want to reach?
This led me to think about, hey, I reached Veronica with bugs. Because she ended up in my house and I handed her bug books. But I wonder, like, she has this whole community and I really have watched her flourish and grow and make connections in this tarot community. And I've seen them, like, a lot of tarot people really like bugs. I see bugs in their art, like on their wall. I've seen them like post videos, like, what is this thing? So I feel like the natural curiosity is there, but I also feel like people who like tarot aren't necessarily, like the stereotypical person, aren't necessarily the people that are actively looking for science either, but would consume the science if it was presented to them in a format that made sense that they could connect with. And I think that's one of the biggest things with science communication. Like, that's what I do. I have this YouTube channel, obviously, and I'm just trying to get my love for insects out into the world. And if I can make a product that connects with a whole other demographic than what I'm currently reaching, to me, that's just like really, really cool. And that's the point of science communication. So here we are, insect tarot deck. So what exactly is it other than an insect tarot deck? There's the 78 card standard deck that each card has a very specific meaning. The Two of Swords in any deck that you pull is about difficult decisions. So you can go to any deck and pull those cards that say those things and have those basic understood meanings. The other kind of deck, and this is what I've seen a lot of insect decks already, are the oracle deck. And that's basically just like there's a picture and a meaning that someone just decided to decide it. Like, I'm not so much interested in the oracle decks. I really like the symbolism and the idea of the original tarot decks. And I like that those meanings, like you can hand someone the 10 of Pentacles. You could hand someone the Magician who's familiar with tarot and know what those constructs are already. And considering the fact that I'm already presenting all this new information with insect biology, I want to make sure that at least half the equation is easy for the target audience and demographic to pick up and use. So I try to take the symbolism of the card and match it to a specific insect in its biology, ecology, history, mythology, etc. So here is the Devil card. The whole idea of the Devil is, are you consuming or using this thing because you like it and it's in a healthy balance, or are you escaping from something? The Devil is all about like, come with me, we'll have a good time, but it's a dangerous path to go down. I chose for my insect the Emerald Jewel Wasp, which is such a beautiful insect. She's so gorgeous. And Emerald Jewel Wasps attack cockroaches, and she delivers a dopamine hit to the brain and also delivers GABA. And so this Emerald Jewel Wasp, who delivers 2 very specific stings to the head of the cockroach, and it releases dopamine to make the cockroach pretty much placated and feel good, and also delivers a GABA sting which hits the receptors and takes away the free will of the cockroach. The cockroach is physically able to run, jump, run away, swim. You can put this placated cockroach in water and it swims. You can turn this cockroach upside down and it'll right itself. You can poke it and it will run away. However, when it's with the wasp, all of those I should run away things are just not there anymore. It just doesn't. And so the cockroach wasp will take the cockroach and kind of walk it away to a burrow and lay its larva on it. The cockroach is paralyzed and it is alive while the cockroach wasp larva eats that cockroach from the inside out, eventually killing the cockroach and emerging. But I thought this was such an interesting parallel between the Devil card of the devil can lead you down this slippery slope, and if you're not careful, your dopamine receptors are gonna go haywire and you're just gonna go down this slippery path even though you know it's not good for you. And the same thing is kind of happening with the cockroach. The same chemicals are involved, dopamine and GABA, and the cockroach could run away, but it just doesn't and lets the wasp drag it away to a burrow where it will eventually be consumed. So that's the Devil card. But I've decided to be an overachiever and do the full 78, and so I've really put into a lot of thought about the minor arcana as well. A lot of decks, the minor arcana, the swords, pentacles, cups, and wands are just drawn like it's the 10 of wands. They'll draw 10 wands. But I decided that even for these cards that I'm going to represent insects. So no shortcuts for me. And so I wanted to tell you a little bit about some of the ideas that I had behind them. The first one that I want to show you is swords. Swords is traditionally all about the mind and also the element related to air. So all of my swords insects are strong flying insects. And so this one really quickly is the 9 of Swords, which is all about anxieties that are pinning you down and holding you down. So I chose to draw this really pretty Zamara cicada that is pinned down by all the different pins. So instead of swords in my deck, I have chosen to do insect pins as a representation. So here is swords, winged insect, with insect pins. And then cups is usually represented by water and actual physical cups. So I decided in my deck to do like insect collecting flasks. Usually the flasks have alcohol and store soft-bodied insects. So all of my insects for cups are aquatic and they are in flasks. So the 10 of Cups is all about caring for your family and is just, you know, basically that, like, is all about family values. And so for the 10 of Cups, I chose to represent a giant water bug, and the males carry the eggs on their back. And I thought that was like a perfect representation of caring for your family. And so yeah, there we have the 10 of Cups. So I haven't started drawing the wands yet. I have a lot of ideas, and that's kind of the problem. I have too many ideas for the wands. But the wands are fire and like creative spark and ideas, and so I have decided to take fire and interpret it as chemical defenses in insects. So all of my wands insects are going to be chemically defended insects, everything from like ladybugs to moths that have hydrogen cyanide, but trying to figure out which story I exactly want with each insect is a little bit tricky. So I haven't started the wands yet, but I have also gotten to the pentacles, and the pentacles is all about wealth and the element of earth. So I am picking all insects that are grounded, they don't fly for whatever reason. So the 10 of Pentacles traditionally is all about familial wealth, and I thought that would be such an interesting way to represent ants. So I chose the honeypot ants. As you can tell, I'm not picking mainstream insects, and I did that on purpose so that way everyone, even if you're an insect enthusiast, can learn about some of the amazing biodiversity and amazing stories that these insects have. So again, 10 of Pentacles is all about familial wealth, so I chose the honeypot ants. Honeypot ants have specialized caste, or like specialized workers that are fed food by other workers, and then they store that food in their own bodies, and that's why they're called honeypot ants. They have this kind of really pretty golden glow, and in times of drought or in times that are difficult, the ants will take the food and distribute it among the colony. And the idea is, you know, kind of like, you know, familial wealth, but also like not wasting your wealth and saving it for a rainy day. I've decided to represent the pentacles, which are normally represented by money or coins in traditional decks, as seeds, as the idea that you are grounding your ideas, you're grounding your wealth, you're grounding whatever. You're grounded basically, and I thought ground would be good with seeds. All right, so here we are. So that is a little bit about my project. So now I'll answer some of the questions that I might not have answered super clearly along the way.
Who do you want to reach? How do you want to inspire? What do you want to improve? What do you love? What do you want to get rid of that you hate? Open up a little bit and let's share our creative goals and dreams.
But my dreams and my hopes for this project is that in an ideal world, this will go out to people who are really interested in tarot, who may not be actively searching for YouTube channels or science channels, and get a little bit of science and learn a little bit more about these beautiful animals that are all around us. And I also hope the other way, I hope that scientists pick it up and are interested in just seeing how these connections between our world and like their world can be combined. I feel like so often with scientists, we're like, no, anyone who does not believe in anything about science, like whatever, it's like they just put a wall up. So we have this interesting contradiction, I think, between, yes, we want to reach all the people, but we also want all the people to be very similar to us, and that leads many science communicators to being stuck in this kind of crazy echo chamber where we just talk to other scientists. So I'm really hoping to like smash down that barrier and be like, yes, you can like tarot, yes, you can be into that world, but also here's a little bit, like here's a little intro to science, like here's a little bit about the natural world around you. And hopefully like start taking down that barrier. I'm hoping that this will start to crumble that wall a little bit. That is one of the ideas. Also, I found that tarot was so helpful for me. I know it has like a lot of stigma and like people kind of look at it like that's kind of weird, but to me it really did help me just figure out how to like journal, think about things in a new way. And I feel like it would have been really helpful for me in grad school when I was so stressed and like just like didn't know how to think about a lot of the problems I was facing. And I'm hoping that it can give people who may not be interested in that kind of self-care or journaling or really thinking about their feelings in that kind of way, a way to like systematically examine those things, whether they be scientists or not scientists. So I hope it goes both ways, really. That ideal world. And one of the things that I hope this will get rid of that I absolutely hate when there's so much misinformation, when people are so afraid of insects. It's crazy to me that people are so afraid of insects, but like will look at bison and try and take selfies with bison and then actually end up getting hurt. Or try and take selfies with tigers, which is not good for the tiger, but also very dangerous for you. Like, I don't know how this happened where many insects which are actually harmless to us cause so much fear, and animals that are actually dangerous don't really cause that fear. So I really hope that, again, it breaks some of the stigma about what insects are. And again, I think there's so much that people just don't realize about insects. They're not really taught in schools. You don't really hear about these interesting, crazy stories. If you're not actively searching for it, how would you know? And I really hope that people will pick this up and be like, wow, I didn't know how cool insects were. Wow, I didn't know that insect existed. Wow, I didn't know about this cool mythology behind this insect. And so I really hope that it helps break down some of the stigma and some of the fear around insects. So I think those are all the questions. This will also be in like a thread form on Twitter. So if you think this is a cool idea, like let me know down in the comments before. If you think I'm like off my rocker, also let me know in the comments below. If anything, even if it doesn't come to be this grand, amazing thing that I hope that it will be to reach out like a different demographic, it was at least really fun for me to think about insects and tarot in this way, to think about the biology of insects and kind of put it in basically a puzzle. I definitely think of this like a big puzzle. You're having all the symbolism and all these different cards and all these like millions of insects that I could pick from, and trying to pick biologies that I thought fit these cards has been a really, really fun puzzle. So if nothing else, for me, I've learned a lot. I got to dive into some really interesting insects and learn about them a little bit more than I probably would have otherwise. So yeah, that's my random 2021 project that I'm working on, and I'm so excited to get started and to start digitizing them. All right, love bugs, I will see you tomorrow for, you know, more normal content that you find on this channel, like specifically just bug stuff. All right, bye.